This is 100.9 FM and the mighty 590. The best of both worlds, Rutherfordton.
AM 590 WCAB Rutherfordton with FM translator service on W265DW at 100.9.
Weeks.
.9 FM and 590 AM. The best of both worlds. This is WCAB Rutherfordton.
AM 590 WCAB Rutherfordton with FM translator service on W265DW at 100.9. Imagine getting the tractor you've always wanted. Well, now you can. Stop by NC Tractor and Farm Supply, talk with Phil Sheehan and his professional staff, and let them help you find the perfect Massey Ferguson tractor that's right for you. Any questions you have, they'll be happy to answer. Stop in today, 299 Railroad Avenue, NC Tractor and Farm Supply, 828-288-0395.
5% of the American people don't want a rematch of 2020, and we've never seen that in my lifetime.
Governor Roy Cooper visited his former elementary school in Nash County to proclaim 2024 as the year of public schools with a message on investing in public school education.
Our public schools educate our children, power our economy, and provide opportunity in every community in North Carolina.
Congressman Don Davis is learning more from local veterans and people who want to work with them. He held a roundtable discussion in Greenville with some of those people with the state and local levels. Nicole Jenkins, Veteran Services Officer for Jones County, told WNCT.
It gives the opportunity for the people who work with the veterans to bring it to people who are going to take it to the top.
New research is shedding new light on concussion recovery for female athletes. Michael George has that.
For many years, there was a belief women took longer to recover from concussions than men. But a study of student athletes found when women get the same access to care, they recover at a similar rate. Researchers compared cognitive function, mental health, balance, and reaction time and found no significant difference between the genders.
You're listening to NCN News.
Getting older and wiser is a part of life. But like all things, aging has its challenges, and it's often hard to know where to turn for answers. Listen to the AARP Without Limits podcast to get the best information to navigate the challenges of aging in North Carolina. Learn how to live your best life after 50. You can find the latest episodes of AARP Without Limits wherever you listen to your podcasts.
For more than 35 years, the North Carolina Rural Center has been working to secure a more vibrant future for our state's rural people and places. The latest research breaks down the major forces driving change, such as restricted access to quality health care and insufficient health insurance coverage. Our rural communities face challenges often, contributing to poor health outcomes. The Rural Center continues to advocate for progress on these and other important rural issues. Learn more at ncruralcenter.org. NC Rural Center, building vibrant rural communities.
If you advertise your company's products are made in the U.S., that the company itself is operated by veterans, that it donates 10% of its sales to military-oriented charities, and none of that is true, there will be consequences.
In December, we reported that the Federal Trade Commission was taking action against Old Southern Brass for making claims that weren't true. Now, following a required public comment period, the agency has announced a consent order settling charges against the company has been finalized. Rather than being made in the USA, as the company claimed, many of its products were imported from China or had significant imported content, and it wasn't operated by veterans and didn't give 10% of its sales to charities that serve veterans. Christopher Cruz, CBS News, Washington.
The North Carolina Wildlife Resources Commission is proposing changes to deer and bear hunting season. North Carolina Wildlife Resources Commission Captain Andrew Helton told WLOS,
keep our bear numbers at a leveling rate.
The Wake County School Board is considering a district-wide bag policy for clear bags, and the Wake County system says one incident shined a light on the importance of such a safety issue recently. There's a new ranking that'll make your skin crawl.
Chicago earns top marks for the most bug-infested city in the country for the 4th year in a row. Orkin's new ranking puts New York City at number 2, with a 17% surge in complaints here about bed bugs in 2023. Philadelphia, Cleveland, Akron, and Los Angeles round out the top 5. Moving up the list, Greensboro, North Carolina. It jumped 25 spots in the last year to settle in at 20th overall. And French officials are blaming New Yorkers for an uptick in bed bugs there during Paris Fashion Week. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
Sis Ford, located on Oak Street in Forest City, is now Legendary Ford, still locally owned and still offering the same local hometown service as always. The new family at Legendary Ford is working hard to prove to you that they want your business. So stop by today and see the large selection of cars, SUVs, and trucks on the lot, and let the guys at Legendary Ford help you choose the perfect vehicle that best fits you and your family. Visit them at 565 Oak Street in Forest City, or visit the website at www.legendaryford.com, or call them at 245-1626.
With gas and utility prices skyrocketing, you need to save money wherever you can. Jay's Discount Grocery can help you do just that. Jay's Grocery has a fresh meat market and a produce aisle like no other. Jay's carries all household needs, including dog and cat food, cups, paper plates, drinks, famous brand names arriving daily at a fraction of the cost. You know, you just never know what you'll find at Jay's. Find out for yourself. Jay's is open Monday through Thursday, 8 to 7, Friday and Saturday, 8 to 8, closed on Sundays. Jay's Discount Grocery, 671 Oak Street in Forest City. Shop Jay's and walk out with a pocket full of savings.
Your car's best friend can be RS Speedy Lube Service Center. That's because RS Speedy Lube Service Center and Car Wash can keep your car or truck running clean with a regular oil change. They check the fluids and vacuum out the car and have you on your way in no time. Go next door for a radiator or transmission flush, brakes, exhaust, CV joints, and service for big trucks and campers also available. Pull next door to the RS Speedy Automatic Car Wash and make your car happy with a clean, all under and all over car wash. It's all at RS Service Center and Car Wash on Railroad Avenue in Rutherfordton.
Good morning. Lou Gilman with your forecast for today. It's going to be cloudy with rain with highs around 50 degrees. Clouds tonight, more rain, lows around 50. Tomorrow, cloudy, showers, highs around 65 degrees. Cloudy overnight, chance of showers and thunderstorms, looking for lows around 55. Friday, cloudy, isolated showers and thunderstorms, highs around 70 degrees. Cloudy overnight, more showers and thunderstorms, lows around 55. And then Saturday, still that chance of showers and thunderstorms, highs around 65. And that chance of rain stays with us overnight into Sunday. Clearing off Sunday night with lows around 35 with a wind chill as low as 30 degrees. That's your forecast. We are Pure Country, 100.9 FM, 590 AM, WCAB, Rutherfordton. Where currently it's 44 degrees. We've not seen 44 degrees this time of morning in a long, long time. Rain, 44 degrees. Rain's going to stay with us throughout the day, so if you're going to be out driving, be careful. Don't know how saturated the ditches and the hillsides and whatever from the last big rain that we had. Again, 44 degrees. News from SRN coming up next.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason. He's batting 1,000 so far. Donald Trump, who won Iowa, has scored a victory in New Hampshire's first in the nation primary.
The former president thankful to clinch a second straight victory in his quest for the 2024 GOP nomination.
Thank you very much. We love you. Thank you very much. We'll see you soon. We'll see you on the trail.
Rival Nikki Haley says that political pundits have it wrong if they think she has plans to drop out.
Well, I'm a fighter. And I'm scrappy.
Haley says she's come a long way since there were at one point 14 GOP candidates, and now it's down to her and Donald Trump. Bob Agnew reporting.
The next stop for the Republicans is Nevada. After that, it's on to South Carolina. GOP political analyst Gary Bauer warning Republicans against complacency in the face of multiple polls favoring Trump.
Polling is a snapshot. It can't be said often enough. And so even though right now in many of the polls, Donald Trump is opening up a lead, the amount of time between now and November is about 5 lifetimes in politics.
President Biden won the New Hampshire Democrat primary as a write-in candidate. Also at SRNnews.com, Iranian-backed militias in Iraq have been targeted by U.S. airstrikes. Several facilities were hit and follows repeated attacks on American forces in the region. In the words of Defense Secretary Austin, we are fully prepared to take further measures to protect our people and our facilities. Israeli forces battling Palestinian fighters near the main hospital in Gaza's second-largest city, Khan Yunis. Hundreds of patients, thousands of displaced people are trapped by the fighting. On Wall Street this morning, Dow futures are up 79 points. This is SRN News.
And good morning. It's 4 minutes, coming up on 5 minutes past 8 o'clock. Lou Gillum in the Blue Room. And, you know, when it comes to equipment, sometimes it just takes a woman's touch and everything will be fine again. Well, Thomas Jefferson's Kinder Fair will be held on Friday, February the 9th from 4:30 until 6 in the evening. This is in the Grammar School Gymnasium at 1110 South Broadway in Forest City. Call 828-245-9526. Come learn all about Thomas Jefferson School for your little ones. There's going to be games, snacks, and fun activities. Thomas Jefferson's Kinder Fair, Friday, February the 9th, 4:30 until 6. This will be at the Grammar School on Broadway in Forest City. Take a look at some of our local news headlines. RS Central's head coach John Faircloth has officially resigned as head football coach and phys ed teacher as of Tuesday, January the 16th. Now, Coach Faircloth has resigned as head football coach and PE teacher at RS Central effective January the 29th, that according to RS Central principal Phil Rogers. He said he wanted a job closer to where he lives in Black Mountain. The principal went on to say, we appreciate all he has done for the program, the school, and we wish him nothing but the best going forward. Now, while rumors began circulating among fans toward the end of the Hilltoppers 3-7 campaign, which marked Faircloth's third season as head coach, Faircloth made it clear his decision to resign was 100% a personal and family decision. He said it was a tough decision. I have nothing against RS Central. I love the people there. It was a family decision, and I have some other opportunities to help me closer to my family. He went on to say this was a really tough season for Faircloth on and off the field. Now, while facing struggles on the football field, Faircloth lost his father in the middle of the season and then welcomed his third child into the world on January the 1st. With everything going on top of living almost 45 minutes away from the school, Faircloth said it was time for him to take a breath. He said this year was a tough one personally for me. With everything going on, I don't think I did a good job coaching this year. A lot was due to personal stuff, but that's not fair to everybody else. Now, while Faircloth is sad to see his time at RS Central come to an end, he believes stepping down was only fair to both the school and to his family. He said it's a 365-day job. I've got my life to live. That's one of the things my dad told me. I also needed to be fair to my family and RS Central. Now, coaching is a full-time job all year long and only ramps up more when the season starts. Many weeks, Faircloth would not get home until 1 o'clock in the morning, and on Thursdays after the JV games would have to be right back at school at 7 o'clock on Friday to do it all over again. Now, Faircloth won't be staying away from the football field too long, as he already has another job in the works. He just isn't at liberty to say just yet. One thing for sure, Faircloth, it was time to put family before football. He said if you're going to say you're living God, family, football, sometimes you have to put your money where your mouth is, and that's what I'm doing. Well, yesterday, I told you Out of the Ashes had raised $30,000 for their repairs. Well, that's changed. A building fire ravaged Out of the Ashes, a homeless shelter in Forest City last month, and Director Pat Chamberlain turned to the community for help. Residents and businesses have now raised $40,000 to help the shelter rebuild. Their goal is to reopen within the next few weeks. Well, a dispute over some high-end tools led to one man facing several serious charges, including kidnapping, assault, and robbery. A press release from the Buncombe County Sheriff's Office says Jeffrey Eugene Pruitt, Jr., 30, of Henderson County, has been charged with those kidnapping, assault, and robbery. Now, a few details were released about exactly what led to these charges, but the Sheriff's Office said in a press release that an incident happened on January the 6th at 1395 Charlotte Highway in Fairview at Claude Taylor Motors and Sitco. The dispute stemmed from a disagreement over Snap-on tools, according to the release. This remains an active investigation. Pruitt posted a $20,000 bond and is awaiting trial, that according to the Sheriff's Office. Don't let the pest bug you when Hutchins Pest Control is as close as a phone call. Honest, dependable, professional, and on-time service is the reason they continue to be voted best in pest control. Licensed in North and South Carolina and fully insured and bonded. Free estimates when you call Hutchins Pest Control, and you can be sure that job is going to be done right. That's Hutchins Pest Control. Call them today at 287-5171, and they'll be right there. It can be a tough call when it comes time to provide a daycare service for an aging parent or a loved one. You can always depend on Rutherford Life Services for a safe facility that offers medical monitoring, nutritional meals, fun activities, and is a loving environment. Rutherford Life is licensed by the State of North Carolina Division of Aging. They will be glad to answer any questions you may have. Call them at 288-1697. Rutherford Life Services offers a trained staff of professionals who you can entrust your loved one to. Rutherford Life Services is located at 230 Fairground Road in Spindale. It's a family tradition, caring for your family at a time of sorrow and need. Crow's Mortuary and Cremation Services, owned and operated by the Crow family, has been a part of our community for over 65 years. They've been recognized for the highest level of professional service. Crow's pinpoints every service detail to ensure your family has the best service possible. Any questions, call the staff at Crow's 286-2304. They'll be happy to speak with you about pre-funeral needs as well. Crow's Mortuary and Cremation Services, 118 College Avenue, Rutherford, or visit them at www.crowmortuary.com.
Jim, have you seen Henson Building Materials' newly remodeled showroom? It's gorgeous!
You mean where they have a full line of hardware and building materials for homeowners and home builders?
I mean where Jamie, Terry, and Tony, their friendly staff, treat me like family. Oh, they're so nice.
Hey, are they taking COVID precautions and have curbside service?
Of course! They're so thoughtful.
I do need some materials, but I don't think they'll fit in our car.
Oh, silly. They have professional delivery so we can get whatever I want.
Henson Building Materials, 177 Duke Street in Forest City.
Building starts here.
Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood, because we're headquartered in North Carolina with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
Well, Scrappy's Food and Fuel convenience store is becoming a favorite in Rutherford County. They've got delicious food like breakfast biscuits, lunch, all-beef hot dog basket, or hand-breaded chicken tenders. Those things are good. And you can get a healthy salad. Clean, spacious store with friendly staff. Stop by and meet Scott and Colleen, owners and operator. Just great folks. The cafe's open Monday through Friday from 6 until 2. The store is open Monday through Friday, 7 till 9, Sundays 8 to 8. And they also have U-Haul rentals. Call-ins are also welcome, 828-229-3313. That's Scrappy's Food and Fuel. Everything you need in one place. U.S. Highway 221 South in Forest City, right near Chase High Road. We'll take a look at our local obituaries being brought to you by Crow's Mortuary. It's a family tradition, caring for your family at a time of sorrow and need. Crow's Mortuary and Cremation Services, owned and operated by the Crow family, has been a part of our community for over 65 years. They've been recognized for the highest level of professional service. Crow's pinpoints every service detail to ensure your family has the best service possible. Any questions, call the staff at Crow's 286-2304. They'll be happy to speak with you about pre-funeral needs as well. Crow's Mortuary and Cremation Services, 118 College Avenue, Rutherford, or visit them at www.crowmortuary.com. Lawrence Delaney Larry Penrose, 82 of Boston, passed away on Saturday. No services will be held. However, online condolences may be made at washburndorsey.com. Washburn and Dorsey Funeral Home charges the arrangements for Lawrence Delaney Larry Penrose. Nivea Dinky Green, age 80 of Boston, passed away on Friday. Arrangements are incomplete and will be announced by Washburn and Dorsey Funeral Home. Washburn and Dorsey in charge of the arrangements for Nivea Dinky Green. Carol Lynn Blake Slider of Union Mills, 87, passed away on January the 17th. No services will be held. However, online condolences may be made at crowmortuary.com. Crow's Mortuary in charge of the arrangements for Carol Lynn Blake Slider of Union Mills. Frederick Michael Mike Metzenthan, 81 of Boston, passed away on Friday at hospice. Funeral services will be on Friday at Paget and King. Burial will be at the Bethel Baptist Church in Ellenboro. The family will receive friends from 1 until 2 on Friday prior to the service at Paget and King Mortuary. Online condolences may be made at pagetking.com. Paget and King Mortuary in charge of the arrangements for Frederick Michael Mike Metzenthan. Anthony Guido Spina, 77, passed away on Saturday. A celebration of his life will be held at 12 o'clock on Saturday at the First Baptist Church in Forest City. The family will receive friends 1 hour prior to the service at the church. Online condolences may be made at pagetking.com, and in lieu of flowers, donations may be made to the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. Paget and King in charge of the arrangements for Anthony Guido Spina. Faye Nicole Lovett passed away on January the 20th. A memorial service to celebrate Faye's life will take place on Saturday, January the 27th at Crow's Mortuary at 2 o'clock. Online condolences may be made at crowmortuary.com. Crow's Mortuary in charge of the arrangements for Faye Nicole Lovett. You can hear complete obituaries at 11:30 this morning here on WCAB.
Good morning. I'm Pastor Lee Coyle. Welcome to Coffee for the Soul, a brief devotion designed to jumpstart your service to Christ today. Nothing gets my body and spirit going in the morning like a hot cup of coffee and a fresh challenge from God's Word. I don't know about you, but I do enjoy food. One of my favorite things to do is to share a delicious meal with loved ones. Unfortunately, my waistline verifies that statement. Thinking about food, although I know I have said the words, "I'm hungry," I really do not know what it's like to truly be hungry, especially when it comes to nourishment from the Lord. I love what Jesus said to the disciples when they returned from gathering food and Jesus was talking with the woman at the well. When they offered him something to eat, he said, "I have food to eat that you do not know about." That satisfying nourishment Jesus was referring to was that which comes from doing the work and will of God the Father. As a pastor, I have enjoyed that nourishment many, many times. It is when we fail to trust and obey the Lord that we often find ourselves hungry, perhaps even hangry, as they say. When we know Christ as Savior, but yet are not where we should be in our relationship with Him, we often find ourselves hungering for the bread of life. Proverbs 10:3 put it well, saying, "The Lord does not let the righteous go hungry, but He thwarts the craving of the wicked." Sin always leaves us parched and hungry. Obedience to Christ fills us. So if you feel less than satisfied spiritually today, consider your diet. Have you been nourishing your soul with the things of God, or have you been trying to satisfy the appetite of the flesh? When we feast on the world instead of feasting on the things of God, it is like substituting a home-cooked meal at your grandmother's house with fast food. You're hungry again in an hour. Come, taste and see that the Lord is good. Now, that's Coffee for the Soul.
If you need a legal consultation regarding wills, real estate, closings, Medicaid planning, or just legal representation, contact attorneys Gerald N. Willis, Kent Baldwin at the Arledge Law Firm on East Court Street in Rutherfordton. They offer years of experience and expertise. Arledge Law Firm is your local professional law firm that really cares about their clients, and it shows. Whatever the situation you're facing, call 828-287-3338. Let the professional team go to work for you.
At Insurance Service Associates, we want to be your insurance agent. We try to make it easier for you. When you ask, we will shop your insurance with multiple companies. We don't charge extra fees for making a payment. You can come by our office, or with many of our companies, you can pay us over the phone. Many of our customers come through our drive-thru. We want to make it simple because life is already too complicated. Insurance Service Associates, 245 East Main Street, or you can call us at 245-5301.
18 minutes past 8 o'clock. We are running a little bit off schedule this morning. Here's Chronicles of the Old West.
This is Dakota Livesay chronicling another true story taken from the 1800s, a time known to all as the Old West. On January 24th, 1848, John Marshall and John Sutter discovered gold at a sawmill construction site near Sacramento, California. Interestingly, even though these two men discovered the gold, they died broke.
With gas and utility prices skyrocketing, you need to save money wherever you can. Jay's Discount Grocery can help you do just that. Jay's Grocery has a fresh meat market and a produce aisle like no other. Jay's carries all household needs, including dog and cat food, cups, paper plates, drinks, famous brand names arriving daily at a fraction of the cost. You know, you just never know what you'll find at Jay's. Find out for yourself. Jay's is open Monday through Thursday, 8 to 7, Friday and Saturday, 8 to 8, closed on Sundays. Jay's Discount Grocery, 671 Oak Street in Forest City. Shop Jay's and walk out with a pocket full of savings.
John Sutter and John Marshall were partners in a sawmill to provide lumber for the buildings that would comprise an empire Sutter had envisioned called New Switzerland. When John Marshall told Sutter of the gold discovery, his first thought was not of the potential of vast wealth, but of how it would adversely affect New Switzerland. Even though Sutter owned 50,000 acres of land, the mill was on public land. At the time, California was in the process of being transferred from Mexican to U.S. ownership. With no government authority, Sutter and Marshall exchanged clothing and other trinkets with the local Indians for a lease of land surrounding the site. Even though they tried to keep the discovery a secret, in no time the whole world knew about it. As men were panning for gold, Marshall was busy cutting lumber and Sutter was tending his crops. Within a year, both of their businesses failed. Without a clear title, John Marshall was eventually run off the land where the mill was located. John Sutter's 50,000 acres came from two Spanish land grants. One was declared void, and squatters took over the other. Eventually, both men tried mining for gold, but they failed. John Sutter died penniless in 1880, and John Marshall did the same in 1885. Although Sutter and Marshall, the discoverers of gold, never saw a profit from the discovery, during the first 25 years following the discovery, over $978 million worth of gold was taken from the area of Sutter's mill. You've just heard another story from Old West Radio. I'm Dakota Livesay.
Hungry? Lunchtime, dinner time, anytime is a good time to stop in at Gregory's Original Restaurant. Choose from fresh delicious burgers, fries, sandwiches, pasta dishes, fresh salads, grinders, and so much more. All orders are prepared fresh and to perfection. Open Monday through Friday, 11 till 9, Saturdays noon till 9, closed on Sundays. Call in or carry out, 828-287-2171. Located in the Park Lane Plaza in Rutherfordton, and DoorDash delivery is available. Fast and friendly service. That's Gregory's Original Restaurant. Imagine getting the tractor you've always wanted. Well, now you can. Stop by NC Tractor and Farm Supply, talk with Phil Sheehan and his professional staff, and let them help you find the perfect Massey Ferguson tractor that's right for you. Any questions you have, they'll be happy to answer. Stop in today, 299 Railroad Avenue, NC Tractor and Farm Supply, 828-288-0395. We've got sports coming up in just a minute. Well, a Virginia resident is going to spend over 17 years behind bars after he traveled to North Carolina to engage in a sexual activity with a minor. A press release from the United States Attorney Dina King announced that 50-year-old James Edward Wisnett Jr. of Suffolk, Virginia, was sentenced on January the 16th to 210 months in prison, followed a lifetime of supervised release for traveling to North Carolina to engage in illicit sexual conduct. Wisnett was also ordered to register as a sex offender after he is released from prison and pay restitution in the amount of $39,500. Now, according to court documents and proceedings, in March 2022, Wisnett began communicating with an undercover agent, expressing an interest in engaging in illicit sexual acts with a minor female. And this is a minor female child, that according to the U.S. Attorney's Office. Law enforcement recovered hundreds of images and videos containing child pornography from Wisnett's electronic items seized as part of the investigation. Now, November the 30th, 2022, Wisnett pleaded guilty to travel with intent to engage in illicit sexual conduct, that according to the U.S. Attorney's release. The case was brought as part of Project Safe Childhood, a nationwide initiative to combat the growing epidemic of child sexual exploitation and abuse. This was launched back in May 2006 by the Department of Justice, led by the U.S. Attorney's offices and the Criminal Division's Child Exploitation and Obscenity Section. Child Project Safe marshals federal, state, and local resources to better locate, apprehend, prosecute individuals who exploit children via the internet, as well as to identify and rescue victims. Coming up, we've got sports from the North Carolina News Network, and coming up on Saturday evening, we've got Tar Heel basketball. Tar Heels and Florida State. Airtime will be 12:30 for the countdown to tip-off. Pre-game at 1 o'clock. Tip-off should be around 2 o'clock. And you can hear that game right here on Pure Country, 100.9 FM, 590 AM, WCAB, Rutherfordton.
NCN Sports. Good morning. I'm Tony Bixby. Tyrese Proctor scoring a career-high 24 points, including 13 after halftime with several clutch baskets. Mark Mitchell returned from injury to add 20 with 12 rebounds. Number 12, Duke, outlasting Louisville on the road last night, 83-69. A happy coach, John Shire.
All right. I thought it was a really good game for us. Really good to get that win. For our team, we've played through a pretty good amount of adversity these last 3 games, and you feel game pressure. You feel you have to play with different lineups. Jeremy's injury happens, and for us to really step up collectively and get that win, I'm proud of the team.
Elsewhere in the ACC, Virginia Tech won its second straight game, beating Boston College 76-71. Jameer Watkins scoring career-high 27 points, 11 rebounds. Florida State pulled away midway through the second half, beating Syracuse 85-69. It was the Orange's first home loss of the season. Carlton Carrington scored 19 points, and Ishmael Leggett scored 14. Pittsburgh beat Georgia Tech 72-64. The Charlotte Hornets involved in a big trade yesterday, a multi-time All-Star and a former NBA champion on the move. Correspondent Gethin Coolbaugh has the story.
Kyle Lowry is being traded by the Miami Heat to the Charlotte Hornets for Terry Rozier in a swap of point guards, according to a person with knowledge of the agreement. The Heat are also sending a 2027 first-round draft pick to the Hornets to complete the deal. Rozier figures to be an immediate upgrade for the Heat. He is averaging 23.2 points and 6.6 assists, both career highs, in 30 games this season, and is shooting a career-high 46% as well.
You're listening to NCN Sports.
I'm Tiffany. I have some tips for you on how to quit smoking like I did. I threw out my ashtrays, lighters, and matches, and it worked. To help me with cravings, I put a picture of my mother in my car. She died of lung cancer when I was only 16. Now I have a 16-year-old daughter. That picture of my mother reminds me that I don't want to miss all the things my daughter is going to do in her life.
Brought to you by NCDHHS and developed by CDC. For more information on quitting tobacco, go to quitlinenc.com.
If you pay your city or town for electricity, you live in a public power community. Public power communities provide electricity to families and businesses from a locally owned and operated system. Public power systems are not-for-profit and provide electricity at affordable rates with unbeaten reliability. Your local public power provider invests in your community, providing local jobs and supporting your local economy. Electricities of North Carolina is the energy behind public power. Learn more at electricities.com.
3 more ex-baseball players headed to Cooperstown. Here's Bruce Morton.
Adrian Beltre, Joe Mauer, Todd Helton. They are now members of the Baseball Hall of Fame. On Tuesday, they were voted in by the Baseball Writers Association of America. Beltre was voted in on 95% of the ballots. Mauer got in on his first attempt, while Helton made the grade on his 6th try. Gary Sheffield fell short of the 75% threshold necessary for induction with 64% on his 10th and final attempt. I'm Bruce Morton.
Former Houston Astros star Morgan Ensberg has a new job. The Tampa Bay Rays announced yesterday he's the new manager of the AAA Durham Bulls in the International League. He had been managing Montgomery in the AA Southern League the last 4 seasons. Tony Rixby, NCN Sports.
For dependable, complete, and professional auto service, see Tri-City Tire Service. With years of experience, they care about their customers, and it shows. From complete auto service and brakes, alignments, tune-ups, and oil changes to North Carolina inspections, Tri-City Tires got you covered. They carry tires for commercial, farm tractors, and ATVs. Tri-City Tire Service, your local tire and auto service center, 221 Daniel Road in Forest City. Call them at 828-287-8778.
Compassion, commitment, and professionalism. These are the qualities family members need at a time of sorrow. That's why families in Rutherford County turn to Harrelson Funeral Home. The professional staff at Harrelson Funeral Home in Forest City understands your sadness, your loneliness, and your need for guidance. You'll know when you turn to Harrelson Funeral Home that your deepest concerns will be felt. You need someone to listen and guide you through the process of planning a funeral. That's why you need Harrelson Funeral Home. To make it easier on you at that difficult time, plan early for services you'll want for your loved ones. Call Harrelson Funeral Home today. That phone number is 657-6383. See why Harrelson Funeral Home is the choice for you. 1251 Highway 221A, Forest City.
Good morning. Lou Gilman with your forecast for today. It's going to be cloudy with rain with highs around 50 degrees. Clouds tonight, more rain, lows around 50. Tomorrow, cloudy, showers, highs around 65 degrees. Cloudy overnight, chance of showers and thunderstorms, looking for lows around 55. Friday, cloudy, isolated showers and thunderstorms, highs around 70 degrees. Cloudy overnight, more showers and thunderstorms, lows around 55. And then Saturday, still that chance of showers and thunderstorms, highs around 65. And that chance of rain stays with us overnight into Sunday, clearing off Sunday night with lows around 35 with a wind chill as low as 30 degrees. That's your forecast. We are Pure Country, 100.9 FM, 590 AM, WCAB, Rutherford. And currently we have rain and 44 degrees in the area. Well, in other news, a man is facing several charges after pipe bombs and drugs were discovered during a traffic stop on Monday in Rowan County. Now, the deputy stopped the building in the parking lot of the Exxon gas station on Long Ferry Road in the Salisbury area. That, according to the Rowan County Sheriff's Office, the stop was for an expired tag. Now, according to the deputy, the driver appeared to be very nervous, and a canine officer was called to the scene. The canine alerted to drugs in the vehicle, and other deputies began a search. They found what appeared to be several pipe bombs in the vehicle's glove box, that according to the sheriff's office. Deputies stopped the search, moved everyone back from the vehicle. The gas station was also evacuated, according to authorities. The Cabarrus County Sheriff's Office bomb squad responded and eventually detonated the pipe bombs, according to information from Rowan County. Now, members of the bomb squad searched the vehicle for additional explosives and found methamphetamine, a glass smoking pipe, and some ball bearings, that according to a news release. The driver was identified as 45-year-old Christopher Wade McDaniel. Search warrants were obtained by detectives for a search of his house and his parents' house. No other explosives or materials were found at the two homes. That according to the sheriff's office. Now, McDaniel was charged with possession of weapons of mass destruction, possession of methamphetamine, possession of drug paraphernalia, no operator's license, no financial responsibility, expired registration. He was booked into the Rowan County Detention Center on a $250,000 secured bond. Well, sadly, troopers say 4 teenagers were killed not long after their vehicle was clocked at more than 100 miles per hour. The Highway Patrol says the crash happened at around 2:40 a.m. on I-95 in Johnston County after a trooper noticed a car speeding at 104 miles per hour. Now, the trooper tried to catch up to the car but did not pursue the vehicle since it was no longer in sight, that according to the patrol. Now, troopers say the car tried to take an exit ramp for Brogan Road but crashed into several trees. The 2 in the front seat were trapped while the rear seat passengers were thrown from the car. The driver, identified as 17-year-old Alan Lockamy of Archer Lodge. The others in the car, 17-year-old Freddie Cirrus, 17-year-old Christopher Jackson, and 16-year-old Samaj Williams. Well, a Duke Energy spokesperson has confirmed that the Charlotte-based utility company will be laying off employees as part of a clean energy transition. The company did not specify how many employees will be laid off or which states or locations the layoffs will occur. Duke Energy released the following statement regarding the decision. Duke Energy is entering the next phase of its clean energy transition, which calls for a transformative expansion and modernization of our energy generation and grid. In preparation, we are reorganizing for greater efficiency and cost effectiveness to deliver smarter energy solutions that are affordable, reliable, and cleaner for our customers and communities. As a result, we expect limited workforce impacts across our several territories. The company did not have any further details to share. Well, more and more people are driving electric vehicles, and now Duke Energy is testing out a vehicle charging subscription service in North Carolina. If the Utilities Commission likes what it sees, well, it could give the green light. According to Duke Energy's EV calculator, its customers pay about $40 a month to drive around. Well, Duke Energy's 12-month EV complete home charging plan pilot will now allow residential customers in North Carolina to use up to 800 kilowatt hours per month to charge an EV at home for a fixed monthly fee of $19.99 in its Duke Energy Carolina service area and $24.99 in its Duke Energy Progress service area. It will only be open to 100 customers who own or lease from General Motors, Ford Motor Company, or BMW. Now, customers who own or lease a qualifying EV will receive an invitation to participate from their respective EV manufacturer and can enroll in the program starting in September. North Carolina has ambitious goals to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, and we're supporting those efforts, according to Kendall Brown, Duke Energy North Carolina State President. Went on to say increasing the numbers of EVs while reducing the number of gas-powered vehicles on the road will help our state move closer to carbon neutrality. Now, during the pilot program, participants will input their desired time to each a certain state of charge, and their automaker will optimize their EV charging schedule to meet their specific needs while attempting to avoid charging during the grid's peak hours. The one-year pilot program launches on November the 1st. Well, let's see what other things I got here. I got a little behind trying to get everything. Okay. Nicholas Rossi, you may not know who he is, but he may, in passing, you may have heard his name. Now, he's a former Rhode Island man accused of faking his own death. He faked his death to avoid rape charges in Utah. But he made his first court appearance in the United States. He was extradited from Scotland earlier this month and still insists he's Arthur Knight Brown, an Irish national caught in a scandalous case of mistaken identity. Sounds like an episode of Columbo or something. In one exchange, prosecutors spoke about his refusal to admit his identity and were rebuffed by Rossi, whose legal name is Nicholas Alaverdian. This individual has been extradited, and he has not admitted his name or birth date accurately, so I don't think we're going to be successful on that today either, that according to the prosecutor and yesterday. Now, objection, my lady, that's complete hearsay, said Alvaradian. appearing virtually with an oxygen mask on. Now, Alveridian claims his lawyer was not informed of yesterday's hearing and got defensive with the judge when they appointed one for him. Alveridian did not enter a plea. He has a detention hearing on January the 26th and an initial appearance on the rape charge tomorrow. Well, an $85 million investment is coming to address climate change in Asheville. U.S. Deputy Secretary of Commerce Don Graves was in Asheville yesterday to announce the investment. The funding will support the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration's efforts to deliver more modernized products and services to enhance the climate data right here at the center in Asheville. The Industry Proving Grounds Program initiative will promote actionable climate information by focusing on three key industries. Graves said addressing climate change and the climate crisis has been a top priority for the Biden administration from the start. Graves said the IPG program was made possible through President Joe Biden's Inflation Reduction Act. The program will also provide tools to help address what Graves described as a rapidly changing climate. He said NOAA's environmental intelligence is vital to combating the climate crisis, and the center is always looking for ways to support industries like with the IPG program. They'll also be working with the architect and engineering sector to help improve standards that will bend the curve due to extreme weather events. He said they'll also be working with the retail sector to share details on climate-related events such as El Nino to help them plan for potential supply chain disruptions.
Eggers Funeral Home of Cliffside is sincerely grateful for the service and sacrifices of our veterans. As a United States veteran, you are entitled to specific funeral-related benefits and services. At Eggers, we have the experience and knowledge to guide you through obtaining the benefits available to you. Please ask us about the benefits that should be coming to you as a veteran or a veteran family member. Contact Eggers of Cliffside today at 828-657-6322. A veteran funeral allows us to honor and celebrate the life of your loved one and can be a very significant step in healing.
There are plenty of drugstores in Rutherford County, but not all of them offer the same personal customer service that is offered at the Medicine Box of Rutherfordton. Laura Hodge and her team have trusted, experience, and professional service. You're not just a number to them, you're a friend. Make the Medicine Box of Rutherfordton your hometown drugstore at 200 Charlotte Road in Rutherfordton. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, Saturdays 9 to 1, 287-7117. Robbins Painting Carpet is a friend of folks who do their own jobs around the house and friends of the professional. And they're the home of Benjamin Moore Premium Quality Paint. Benjamin Moore goes on easy the first time, every time, so save yourself some time. And Robbins also provides expert help and advice to make every project a success. Call on the team at Robbins Painting Carpet and Floor Covering today, 245-8801. That's 245-8801. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, 206 Commercial Drive in Forest City. Wayne's Lunchbox can satisfy the pickiest of eaters at lunch or dinner or supper, whatever you want to call it. You can enjoy salads, sandwiches, a limited meat and veggie menu at lunchtime, and then for supper, your choice of a meat and vegetables. Call on Wayne's for any catering event that you may have, offering catering service, so stop by 391 East Main Street in Spindale. Call 828-395-2225. Open Monday through Thursday, 11 until 2, for supper, 3 until 7. Well, Thomas Jefferson's Kinder Fair will be held Friday, February the 29th. Come learn all about Thomas Jefferson School for your little ones. There's going to be games, snacks, and fun activities. The Kinder Fair will be on February the 9th from 4:30 until 6 p.m. at the Grammar School Gymnasium, and this is on South Broadway in Forest City. The Kinder Fair for Thomas Jefferson School. Come learn all about Thomas Jefferson, games, snacks, fun activities, February the 9th from 4:30 until 6 in the evening. Coming up on 14 minutes before 9 o'clock. 44 degrees currently, light rain in the area. Do you know a name Harold Hogue? Harold Hogue. Now, he went by Ice Train and MS Smooth. Do you know who he is now? Well, he was a professional wrestler, and he died at age 56, that according to multiple reports. Now, the WWE Hall of Fame Diamond Dallas page announced on Facebook on Tuesday that Hogue had passed away, calling him a warrior and one of the kindest people I've ever known. Now, Hogue never wrestled for the WWE, but he did wrestle for the World Championship Wrestling throughout the 1990s, and during his WCW career, he competed against legends that include Diamond Dallas Page and the Steiner brothers. Hogue even shared the ring with the man who would later become Stone Cold Steve Austin. Hogue teamed with Ron Simmons to square off with the Hollywood Blondes, Steve Austin and Brian Pillman. That was back in 1993. Now, Hogue wrestled for the WCW in separate stints until 2001, when the company was purchased by the WWE. A cause of his death has not yet been revealed. Well, an upstate teacher has been arrested after not reporting inappropriate acts inside the classroom. Now, according to the Anderson County Sheriff's Office, Dana Elizabeth Bowen is being charged with failure to report child abuse or neglect after warrants were issued for her on January the 11th for failing to report two separate incidents revolving around a student inside the school. Now, Bowen taught students who faced mental disabilities at New Prospect Elementary School. According to officials, between September and November, a young girl was touched inappropriately by another young student. Again, this month, the same girl was touched in a different manner by another student. The Criminal Investigation Division said while Bowen explained to the victim's mother what happened over the phone, Bowen never reported it to the school administration. By law, a teacher is a mandatory reporter and must report any form of abuse or neglect of a child. Bowen turned herself in and is no longer employed by the Anderson School District 5. Well, if you love to fly, well, the Greenville-Spartanburg Airport has announced a new airline with nonstop services to 5 destinations. Breeze Airways will provide nonstop service from Greenville-Spartanburg to Los Angeles, Orlando, Tampa, Hartford, and Providence, all that starting on May the 3rd. Greenville-Spartanburg is Breeze's third location in South Carolina. Service began in Charleston in 2021, with service to begin in Myrtle Beach on February the 15th. Now, fares on the new routes are going to start from $49 one way from Greenville-Spartanburg to Providence, Rhode Island, Tampa, Florida, Hartford, Connecticut, L.A., Orlando. An Airbus A220-300 aircraft will operate also. Now, according to Greenville-Spartanburg Airport District President and CEO Dave Edwards, Breeze's aircrafts can hold as many as 137 passengers. But the financial impact to the Greenville-Spartanburg area's economy is what's getting Edwards excited. He said for every new flight that flies 365 days out of the year, that's $137 million impact for every 137-seat jet. That according to Edwards. Greenville-Spartanburg was chosen because Breeze considered it an untapped market, with people clamoring for more destinations. Well, let's see. I've got 2 different things here that, this one. This one's a little bit shorter. Okay. 3 annoying habits that could be sabotaging your friendship. Well, do you really think that you're sabotaging your own friendships? Now, when it comes to living a long, healthy, and happy life, your relationships are the single biggest factor in how you fare. That according to an ongoing study at Harvard University. It's the Harvard Study of Adult Development, the longest-running study of adult health and happiness in the world. And the research is not just talking about your romantic partners. In fact, some friendships can be just, if not more, just the impacts of your friendships during your life. So knowing how important friends are, how do we mature and nurture these friendships and keep them going strong? A good place to start is understanding how we can be annoying. Now, many of us worry about being a burden to our friends, and the last thing we want to do is push our pals away. After all, it's hard enough to make friends when you're an adult. But while we don't go out of our way to be annoying, sometimes no matter how hard we try, we still do things that can get on people's nerves. Thankfully, if your goal is to avoid being that person, well, listen to this. Waiting for the other person to reach out. Maybe you feel socially awkward and you're not just sure how to reach out. Does your friend even want to hear from you? Or maybe you just don't think of contacting a friend you haven't heard from in a while. Regardless of the reason, always waiting for your friend to initiate the contact is super annoying, and it causes real damage to the relationship. Do this instead. Don't wait for them to reach out, to call, or text you first. Proactively reach out to them. Check in with them regularly and go beyond just saying, hey, how are you? And how was your day? How's your job going? How's the family? Ask about specific events or concerns that they may have. More text, chat, and email programs will allow you to schedule messages in advance. So if you know your friend has an important event coming up, type in quick, thinking of you and hoping it all goes well. Call me after. Text and schedule it to send it today or set a calendar reminder for yourself. Pushing your political or religious views. This is my problem with some people. You may see it as sharing something that's important to you, but constantly bringing it up, controversial subjects, that may be annoying to your friends, especially if their views do not align with yours. Calling it politics of personal destruction. Relationship expert and author, behavioral analyst Wendy Patrick, PhD, describes this as an annoying habit that can creep into friendships with different worldviews. If you constantly talk about your political or religious views in a way that makes it clear that you're right and everybody else is wrong, that's going to get old very quick. The thing is, you need friends who are different from you, who will challenge your thoughts and who will discuss big issues with you. It helps you build empathy and learn about the world's. And insisting that people listen to your views without keeping an open mind to theirs is incredibly annoying. So do this instead. You can and should have conversations about difficult issues with your friends, but start the conversation with how much you have in common with your friends and build from there. Everyone wants national security, jobs, good education, safe communities, access to good quality health. But don't lecture. Make sure you're having a discussion, not a fight. Zone out while they're talking. I've done that before. Thanks to TikTok, YouTube, and all the other stimuli giving us quick dopamine hits, many of us have a difficult time focusing when others are speaking, and that's not even considering the large number of adults with ADHD. But a lack of communication is the biggest relationship killer, and the antidote is attention, according to Patrick. And the primary way we show people attention is by listening attentively. Too many of us zone out while a friend is talking, thinking about our to-do list or what we want to say next, but people can tell when you're only listening with one ear, and it can really get annoying if that happens, she says. Do this instead. Put your phone away, give your friend your full attention, and when they're speaking, watch your body language. Don't let your eyes glaze over. Sit with open posture. Don't cross your arms over your chest away from your friend, and nod and smile to encourage them to keep on talking. Not answering texts within a day. Love them or hate them, text messages are a primary way many people communicate with their friends. And if you're not a good texter, it's still important to acknowledge and respond to your friends' electronic communication, that according to Hafez. And yes, this includes group texts. This is true even if it's something silly, like a meme. It's their way of connecting with you. It's okay to not have your phone on you every second, but you should make time during your day to read and respond to texts and chats. It's annoying and invalidating to send a text and get nothing but crickets in response. It's especially irritating if your friends can see that you've read the message and still didn't respond. Do this instead. Respond to text in a timely manner within a few hours if it's important, but within a day at the longest. Do this even if you have to set a reminder in your phone to text someone back. This makes them feel valued. Don't have time to text, to type out that full response. Well, just acknowledge it with an emoji so your pal knows you received it. Then the next text, tell them about it. Tell them you were busy, and then noting that you will respond later. Texting constantly throughout the day. Texting back within a day, good. Texting all day long? Some people's love language is texting, but you want to be careful not to overwhelm your friends, that according to Patrick. You may love to send the little memes, the quotes, videos, GIS, and little thoughts to check in with loved ones throughout the day. And for friends who also thrive on constant communication, this works great. Unfortunately, some people feel easily overwhelmed by their phone notifications and constant bids for attention. It's not that they don't care about you. They just can't deal with that many messages. Now, she went on to say that's why uninvited all-day chit-chat can be bad texting etiquette. So do this instead. There's no right answer on how many texts are too many in a day. So ask your friends how they feel about texting. Check in the frequency of your text and respect their wishes if they prefer fewer texts.
Some friends may prefer to chat over the phone. Save important discussions for face-to-face meetings. Find the texting groove that works for you and your bestie. If you're flaking on plans, making plans and then bailing at the last minute is one of the top
NCN Special
annoyances
Report,
people
I'm
have
Jeff
with
Hamlin.
friends.
Severe storms
And rightly
accounted
so.
for over
You may see it as
176,000
self-care or
power
even
outages
poor time
across the
management,
state
but when it
tonight.
comes
The most
chronically,
reported in Mecklenburg
appears to
County,
be a signal
where
to your
there are
friends that they are not priority for you, she
23,248. The number
explains.
in Wake
Plus,
County has
when you
grown
cancel at the
substantially
last second,
over the
you often
last 2
cause other
hours. Wake
annoyances
currently
that your
has
friends have to deal with, like changing
20,454
reservations.
outages. In Durham County, there are 7,000.
And the news is coming out on top. Okay. We've had problems all day long. We're going to get it. Okay, when you flake out on your plans, making plans and then bailing out on your friends, that's annoying, especially when you do it all the time. Now, you may see it as self-care or even poor time management, and when it happens chronically, it's a clear signal to your friends they are not a priority in your life. Now, plus when you cancel at the last second, you're causing other issues like they have to change reservations, transportation plans, or just cancel the activity completely. So do this instead. Learn how to better manage your time. When you commit to something, immediately put it on your calendar and plan how you will prepare for the event. If you have to cancel plans, make sure you let them know as soon as possible and make an effort to rearrange your plans in time in the near future that will work with both of your schedules. Now, the report goes on to say, if you find yourself constantly needing to cancel, you should reevaluate your schedule and what you say yes to. You may need to polish and decline politely certain invites. Tagging them on social media without asking. Social media has been known to make or break many friendships because it puts your relationship on public display, and not always in a good way. One, this leads to sticky situations. You tag your friend in pictures, posts, and events on social media. Some people may be very private in general, that according to this report, while others may have personal reasons they don't want to be tagged in a specific post. They may be trying to avoid being stalked by an ex or don't want their employer to know what exactly they use that PTO for. Do this instead. There's a simple solution for how not to be annoying on social media. Just ask your friends before tagging or posting pictures of them. If they say no, it's important to respect their social media boundaries, like you would other boundaries, she said. That's true, regardless of the reason they'd rather not be tagged. And while you're being cautious about your social media interactions, be mindful about what you write about others. Want to know how not to be annoying? Take a good, hard look at the topics you've been bringing up with your friends. Gossip is one of the rudest conversation habits. Some friendships are built on talking crap about mutual acquaintances, while this can feel like bonding in the moment. It actually undermines your friendship and gets annoying fast if others are all you have to talk about. Now, talking negatively about other people or friends to your friend shows that you're not trustworthy or loyal. After all, if you're willing to speak poorly about others, what are you saying about them? So practice empathy. Before you choose to speak negatively about someone, remind yourself how you would feel if they were saying these things about you. Saying, I totally know how you feel. Well, understanding mental health etiquette means knowing the polite way to say you're speaking about mental health that is actually rude. When your friend shares with you, it can be tempting to reply with, I know how you feel. And while most people will understand the kind of intention behind it, it can be annoying if you use this answer a lot, that according to Patrick. She said, you're trying to be helpful, and that's a good thing, but too many people confuse sympathy and empathy. It can feel annoying and invalidating when someone is going through a tough time. The truth is, you don't know how they feel. A better response would be active listening in order to learn how your friend is feeling. Ask more questions and let them tell you. Then validate their feelings. Like, I can hear how stressful you are. This makes a lot of sense given the circumstances. Something like that. Sharing their good news for them. You would never share your secrets, your friend's secrets, but be careful sharing any news that is not yours, according to Patrick. Even sharing positive things about your friend, like job promotion, a pregnancy, or an engagement, without their permission can be annoying because it steals their ability to share it themselves. Instead, be mindful of discussing anything personal that could be seen as invalidating their privacy. Complaining about everything. One of the beautiful things about close, lifelong relationships is your ability to share your deepest thoughts and feelings without fear of judgment. But some people take this to the extreme, venting constantly to their friends about everything from their boss to the barista to the weather, that according to Patrick. It's starting to sound like me and Tracy here. Sharing hard things is fine, but it can be a bonding experience, but constantly being negative is annoying and draining, and the fastest way to kill a friendship. Instead, people like to be happy. This doesn't mean you have to be Little Miss Sunshine all the time, but make sure you balance negative and positive things and be aware of what you're talking about and keep complaints in cheek. Being chronically late. For some people, being 15 minutes late to every event is so common that their friends think tardiness is one of their personality habits and will even joke about it, but it's not funny. While you may see being a little late as endearingly quirk, well, being annoying is a red flag that you don't value your friends. Instead, being late is not cute. It's a character flaw. But it's not a character flaw. It's a problem with time management. It can be fixed with proper planning. Time yourself. Make sure that you're on time. This may mean putting events on your schedule half hour early. Set your clock 10 minutes. Setting reminder alarms. Pick out clothes the day before. You're ready to go and you won't be late. Listening without interrupting is friendship 101. And yet it's astonishing how many of us still interrupt our loved ones. That according to Patrick. It does not get more annoying than being constantly interrupted when you're trying to share something. Interrupting is not just verbal either. Other ways of interrupting your friend include checking your phone, getting distracted by a task, typing, speaking to someone else, and watching TV while they're talking. Now do this instead. Don't talk while they're talking. Give them your full attention. Be mindful and be an intentional listener. Show interest in what they're saying by nodding and making small affirmative comments, but don't interrupt. This makes them feel heard and makes them feel understood. That's just a few ways to keep from sabotaging your friendships.
Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood, because we're headquartered in North Carolina with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
It can be a tough call when it comes time to provide a daycare service for an aging parent or a loved one. You can always depend on Rutherford Life Services for a safe facility that offers medical monitoring, nutritional meals, fun activities, and is a loving environment. Rutherford Life is licensed by the State of North Carolina Division of Aging. They will be glad to answer any questions you may have. Call them at 288-1697. Rutherford Life Services offers a trained staff of professionals who you can entrust your loved one to. Rutherford Life Services is located at 230 Fairground Road in Spindale.
We are remembering the classic oldies right here on WCAB Rutherfordton. The best of both worlds now. AM 590 and 100.9 FM.
AM 590 WCAB Rutherfordton with FM translator service on W265DW at 100.9.
W265DW, Rutherfordton, North Carolina, USA.
SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason. Former President Trump has